Everyone, welcome back. Hope everyone's doing well. Today we've got a pretty outrageous video. It seems like people in our government are getting stupider and stupider. And I'm not really sure how we address that. A lot of them are voted in by people who are even stupider than them, which, you see where I'm going? You just can't fix it. But there have been a few very, I guess, interesting moments over the past couple of days from people in our government talking about guns. Now, y'all have heard me say this before. If you're not educated on something and you try to talk about that thing in depth, you're going to come off stupid. You're going to come off like you, one, don't care because you didn't do your research on the topic, and two, just stop talking about it. One of those people is one of my favorites ever. My God. Sheila Jackson Lee. She gets on her podium and decides to talk about some stuff that's just completely off the hip. Yeah, we'll just start with that. You may be wondering why I'm on concrete right now. Texas grass this year has been a pain in my ass. And if I get in there, I'm gonna be sneezing all over this beautiful AccuFire scope. Guys, big thanks to AccuFire for sponsoring today's video. So this scope in particular is their Prospectus Atro 20 tactical scope. It's made from 7075 aircraft aluminum, so ridiculous durability. It's just one tube all the way down. It's got a fully illuminated reticle and ZRT zero stop. Amazing scope, and I shot this off the AR-10, so obviously it can hold its own. Another option is their Noctis TR1 night vision scope. This thing's awesome. You can use it during the day, and once again, extremely durable, and all of this is at an extremely reasonable price point. So we're putting a link below the video. Go check them out. Go grab you an amazing scope from AccuFire.
Who would even think that you could tamper with the Second Amendment? It's in the Bill of Rights. But we do believe that when you have this weapon being created to be the kind of dangerous, lethal weapon to kill, Americans will stand up and say, it's not about the Second Amendment, it's about saving lives.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, good job, Sheila. Not really, but let's just talk about that for a second. First of all, you don't respect our Second Amendment. None of you do. If you respected it, you'd read it, right? We all remember learning how to read. Sheila, I think you probably learned at some point in your life, hopefully not recently. But it says shall not be infringed. That's pretty clear. It pretty much means fuck off with talking or trying to take away things that have to do with our Second Amendment. In case you didn't know what the word infringe means, Sheila. Then she goes on to say that these weapons are being created to be death weapons, I think she said, or something like that.
This provision specifically is to deal with when you make it a lethal weapon to be used like an assault weapon to kill people.
Clearly you do not understand which weapons are used the most in major cities and in crime. It's called a handgun. It's not what you have on your whiteboard that you worked really hard on for your high school project. Lacked on the research on that project, but you got a whiteboard that looks okay. Unfortunately, all your facts are wrong. But continue, Sheila, please.
We don't need automatic weapons in the hands of civilians. There's no hunting purpose. There's no purpose.
Trust me, if somebody wants to kill someone enough, they will find a way to do it with pretty much any object out there. A ball of yarn, yes, they can do it. Look, Sheila, you're doing a horrible job. I'm just gonna say that now.
Saving lives is why I'm standing here on the floor. But a brace can be bought without a background check.
When you say that you don't need a background check to buy a stabilizing brace, do you know why that is? Well, one, because the ATF can't do shit about accessories. And two, because it's made of plastic and Velcro. It would be the same as somebody buying a knee brace. Does the ATF need to make sure everybody's knee is not a weapon? Here's the other part of that. You can buy a regular stock without a background check. AR stock. You go on any reputable website, they have them for sale. There's no background check on those because once again, they're plastic. So you saying that these are somehow making this weapon more dangerous? It's just off the hip and it doesn't make any sense. Now, If that's not bad enough, why don't we go ahead and listen to Biden at his whatever kind of summit it was talk about this.
Made it harder for people to buy stabilized braces.
I'm sorry, come again?
Made it harder for people to buy stabilized braces.
You know, dude, you're almost as bad as Fetterman from wherever he's at. He showed up to a conference. Everybody's in a suit. He walks in shorts and a sweatshirt and says something like this.
This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the dual kind of law of the inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across like this, all across the...
Sir, can I just ask a question? The next part, though, is, oh, good job. Good job, buddy.
Put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a gun.
Put a pistol on a brace, and it turns it into a gun. Excuse me, Sleepy Joe, do you mind telling us what was wrong with that statement? Well, let me help you. A pistol is already a gun. You don't even have to add a brace. How did he say it again? Brace. It's a pretty solid job. I mean, probably forgot some of his meds, but that's all right.
Put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a gun. Makes it more, you can have a higher caliber weapon, a higher caliber bullet coming out of that gun.
Just because you add a brace or a brace, so you can understand, to a gun, you think that you can use a higher caliber bullet just because of the brace? Sorry, I'm not going to say it his way anymore. It's getting exhausting. You're just goofy, man. If you take the brace off, which a lot of Americans had to do because of the new ATF rule, it still shoots the same caliber. Like, oh man, everybody had to take their plastic and Velcro off their guns, so now they've got to, I don't know, buy different kind of ammo because it no longer supports that kind of round. It's so dumb.
Those who say they're concerned about crime, you can't deal with crime without dealing with gun violence. It's a simple proposition.
You think that you can't deal with crime without dealing with gun violence or what you think is a gun issue. I don't know how many times we have to say this, but we're going to continue to say it until somebody hears it and starts realizing that they're an idiot. Criminals don't care about gun control. Do you think criminals saw the ATF thing and they're like, oh man, we got to take our brace off before we go rob this bank? No. They don't care. They have nothing to lose. They're already putting it all on the line going in to rob the bank. So, do they really care what they're doing it with? If they could have a rocket launcher and be just blowing off vaults, they would be doing it. Whatever makes their job easier. It's just common sense. If you're a criminal, you want an easier job. Biden, do you really think you just disarming tons of Americans? Do you think it's going to do anything? It's going to make crime worse. Because now criminals say, well, the good guys don't have guns anymore. So now it's going to be even easier to go into that bank because now we know that everyone in there has to have a concealed carry permit that takes 15 months to get, or it's just not worth it for them to carry guns because if they get caught with it, oh yeah, here's 2 years, here's a year, here's 10 years. But as always, outstanding job to the folks who spoke today. Sheila and Biden, you guys should just, I don't know, go hang out somewhere, see if you can figure out each other's brains.